In the modern era, technology has drastically changed the way that humans do everything. From keeping food in the refrigerator to driving down the street in a car, technology has changed everything about the way we live. And a new type of technology might change this even more, and that's virtual reality technology. Today on War Made Simple, we'll talk about this emerging technology, what models are currently out, and also what effects this might have on the population as a whole. Hey guys, Bill here. Welcome back to another video. And before I get into the video topic, I do have to make a quick apology. I know the poll to choose the next video that comes up for our State of series was not uploaded on Friday, and I apologize for that. It should be uploaded today. If it's not, someone let me know. But as long as it's uploaded, you guys can make the selection on what our next video topic will be for this coming Friday. So with that out of the way, let's talk about virtual reality. So what is VR? VR is replacing the environment you're in with a virtual one, usually through the use of a VR headset. It replaces your sense of sight and your sense of sound with a stimulated one using a screen and usually some variety of speakers either in the headset or attached to the headset system in some way. There are other virtual reality technologies that involve touch, such as haptics. I'm not going to be going over that because it deserves a whole different video on how complex those things are. So why get this sort of technology? Why get invested in it? Well, let's put it in perspective. When you go and watch a movie, you're sitting on the couch, watching the TV, and that's about it. There's no really experience beyond that. In VR, you are in the movie itself. You get to experience the movie as the characters experience it around you. It's a very unique moment for pretty much anyone going to VR for the first time, watching a movie in virtual reality. Additionally, games. Being a gamer, you can sit on the couch and move around the controller, and that's really about it. That's your engagement. Versus in VR, you are the controller, and your body movements directly impact what happens in the game. It's a one-of-a-kind experience that you cannot get from a regular console. In terms of the commercial industry, it's been overall kind of a mixed success. Some people tried to make it a virtual meeting with these headsets, and generally speaking, that process didn't go too well. People still preferred either meeting in person or just meeting on webcam. VR kind of failed in that regard. But one way that it succeeded was for training purposes. Pilots in the military use these to train themselves. Additionally, pilots in the commercial sector can use these to train themselves. Heck, even people on SWAT teams on the ground can use these to train in simulated scenarios. There's plenty of training scenarios for these. Additionally, in design, you can literally build something in VR, look at it in a VR system, and determine whether there will be flaws or not with the actual creation before it's built. There's a whole VR art industry now that has also evolved, making the canvas itself a three-dimensional structure. There's a whole bunch of things you can do with VR. So that's how the technology can be used. But generally speaking, it's still pretty rare to see in use. It's not common in everyone's household, for example. Why is that? Well, it comes down to a couple things. First is the price. These are pricey units, usually at the bare minimum $300 for a decent headset, being the Quest units, all the way up to sometimes $3 or $4 grand for the higher end units that are normally for commercial use. So getting one of these is an investment. The second issue is kind of the libraries across the board. Yes, you do have a lot of artistic and personal development stuff for things like companies, but on the consumer end, things are pretty small. Even some of the big companies like Disney, they made a Star Wars VR game, and it was cool, but it wasn't something that made it worth buying the entire headset over. Versus if you look at video game consoles, such as Xbox and PlayStation, you have big hit title after big hit title normally coming out to justify that purchase. VR isn't there yet. Lastly, this is very different than any other entertainment system we have, and because it's just an unknown quantity to begin with, a lot of people are a little on edge trying it. Some of the people who have tried it have reported things like motion sickness, as well as just general disorientation after use. So it kind of puts people off in that regard. But overall, the technology is very, very promising, and if used correctly, could revolutionize a lot of what's going on in the world, from entertainment to design. The last thing I want to talk about is the units that are available to the public, because a lot of you might be looking into getting a VR headset, or some of you after seeing this video might go, that's kind of interesting, let's check that out. Word of caution, before you get any headset, try it. There's usually a Quest or something along those lines at Best Buy or at stores around. Put it on your head, try it out for at least 10 minutes, maybe more, and see if you get motion sickness or have any other issues. So try it before you buy it, first off. This is not me saying get a VR headset, try it. Next, I want to go over the 3 kind of main consumer headsets that are out. First one's the PSVR, and this is only for you PlayStation folks. I tried it out for around 30 minutes-ish, and it was overall not bad, but generally speaking, the library is pretty limited on the PSVR. And PlayStation also hasn't offered a whole lot of support for this platform as a whole. I wouldn't recommend getting a PSVR, although the hardware is good, there's just not support behind it. Next step up is going to be the Quest. The Quest series has 2 and 3 are the ones that I would suggest that you check out. Both are good quality headsets at around a $300 or $400 price tag depending on what model you're getting. And they're durable, they're generally speaking pretty easy to use, and on top of that, they offer freedom and movement pretty much unlike any of the other headsets that had come before them. The Quest series has a decent library overall, and the games that they offer are pretty fun generally speaking. The last big consumer headset is the Index, which is made by Valve, and this means that it's paired with Steam, the biggest library of pretty much any sort of games and software on planet Earth. And this gives the Index a huge leap forward of all of its other competitors. Problem is, it's the most expensive, between $800 to $1,000 depending on the unit. So this is definitely on the high end, and if you're looking to get into VR technology, I recommend that you leave this for after you figure out if you want to get VR or not. So that's my spiel on VR technologies, why we use them, what they are, and the different types of models that are currently out. If you guys have any questions or further comments, you can leave them below and I'd be happy to discuss them with you. But for now, I'm going to leave you here for today. That being said, I hope you guys enjoy the week and I will see you on Friday. Take it easy.